When people think of Europe, they picture cobblestone streets, fresh croissants, the Eiffel Tower, maybe some guy playing guitar near a fountain. And yeah, Europe is genuinely one of the safest places on the planet. No European city even cracks the top 50 most dangerous cities in the world. But that doesn't mean everything's perfect. Some of these cities have real serious crime problems. Gangs, drugs, knife violence, organized crime, the whole thing. And tourists especially walk into these places completely blind because, well, the travel brochures don't exactly lead with that. So here it is, straight up, the 15 most dangerous cities in Europe right now. Number 15, Athens, Greece. Athens is ancient, beautiful, chaotic, and increasingly sketchy in certain pockets. The neighborhood around Omonia Square is where things get rough. Drug use, petty theft, and the occasional violent incident are well documented by locals. Police presence exists, but it's uneven. Tourists near the Acropolis are generally fine, but the moment you wander off the beaten path after dark, you're in different territory. The city's economic struggles since the financial crisis never fully healed, and that shows in the streets. Number 14. Nice, France. Nice looks like a postcard. The Promenade des Anglais, the Mediterranean light, the food, it's stunning. But Nice also has a persistent pickpocketing problem, especially around the beach and the old town. More seriously, Nice has seen its share of violent incidents over the years, including the 2016 truck attack that killed 86 people. That was terrorism, not everyday crime, but it reflects a broader tension in the city. Street-level drug activity has also increased, and parts of the suburbs are considered genuinely unsafe after dark. Number 13. Nantes, France. Nantes doesn't get talked about much in crime conversations, which is part of the problem. People don't prepare. It's a mid-sized French city with a solid university scene and decent nightlife, but also a rising gang presence tied to the drug trade. Robberies and assaults, particularly at night, have been climbing. Residents themselves have flagged it repeatedly in surveys. It's not a war zone, but it's not the cozy provincial town people imagine either. Number 12. Lyon, France. Lyon is France's culinary capital. World-class food, gorgeous architecture, huge cultural scene. It's also dealing with a sharp spike in street-level crime. Police have flagged a notable rise in assaults and vehicle break-ins across the city. Gang activity, tied largely to the drug trade flowing through southern France, has crept deeper into residential neighborhoods. Lyon's crime index has been deteriorating year over year. It's not a fluke, it's a trend. Number 11. Stockholm, Sweden. This one genuinely surprises people. Sweden? Really? But yeah, Stockholm has been through it. As of 2025, 55 shootings were recorded in the Swedish capital in a single year, resulting in 9 deaths. Across Sweden as a whole, there were 113 shootings and 33 deaths in that same period. These aren't random. They're almost entirely tied to gang warfare over drug territory. Sweden let immigration outpace integration for years. Certain suburbs became isolated, and organized crime filled the vacuum. The Swedish government has admitted it. The gangs are real, the guns are real, and Stockholm's certain districts, like Rinkeby and Tensta, are places even locals avoid. Number 10. Paris, France. Come on. You knew Paris was going to be on here. Paris is one of the most visited cities on Earth, and it is absolutely crawling with pickpockets. Around the Eiffel Tower, on the metro near Sacré-Cœur, the organized theft rings are sophisticated and fast. Beyond pickpocketing, certain arrondissements in the northern and northeastern parts of the city have serious issues with drug markets and street violence. The 18th, 19th, and 20th arrondissements are where local residents deal with elevated crime on a daily basis. The Olympic Games in 2024 pushed a lot of the street activity underground temporarily, but it came back. Number 9. Brussels, Belgium. Brussels is the political capital of the European Union. It's also, frankly, struggling. 57 shootings in a single year. That's what was recorded in Brussels recently, with more than 20 happening in one summer alone. The most dangerous areas are Anderlecht and Molenbeek, neighborhoods where gang networks tied to drug trafficking have dug in deep. A prosecutor literally warned that any resident can be hit by an accidental bullet. Local authorities were seriously discussing bringing in military patrols. That's not a city at peace with itself. Brussels has long dealt with the tension of being an international political hub, while certain neighborhoods feel completely abandoned by that same system. Number 8. Catania, Italy. Catania sits on the eastern coast of Sicily, and Sicily is mafia country. The Cosa Nostra has roots in this island that go back over a century, and while the organization is less visible than it once was, it's still operational. For tourists, the main risks are theft and scams, but the underlying organized crime structure affects everything from local businesses to politics. Catania has been trying to reinvent itself as a tourist destination, and it's genuinely beautiful. But number 7. Montpellier, France. Montpellier has one of Europe's oldest medical schools and a young, lively population. It also has a serious gang problem. Place de la Comédie and the historic center are hotspots for pickpocketing and tourist scams. But beyond that, the city has seen rising gang violence and drug-related crime that goes well beyond what you'd expect from a mid-sized university town. Residents have consistently rated it as one of the more unsafe cities in France in recent years. Number 6. Naples, Italy. Naples is one of the most alive cities you'll ever visit. The energy, the food, the history. It's overwhelming in the best way. It's also home to the Camorra, one of the most powerful organized crime networks in the world. For tourists, the risk is mostly street level: pickpocketing, bag snatching, scooter muggings. These aren't rare, they're practically an industry in certain parts of the city. The train station area and the Spanish Quarter require constant awareness. The Camorra itself operates largely outside tourist view, but its presence shapes the city's entire economic and social fabric. Naples has been trying hard to change its image, and parts of it are genuinely thriving, but the crime numbers remain stubbornly high. Number 5. Grenoble, France. Grenoble was supposed to be France's Silicon Valley, a tech hub, innovative, forward-thinking. President Macron held it up as a model. Then the drug cartels arrived. In 2025, Grenoble recorded 19 shootings linked to rival drug gangs. Innocent bystanders have been caught in the crossfire. The violence is concentrated in certain housing projects, but it spills out. Grenoble's rise on this list has been fast and alarming. This is a city of about 160,000 people, not a massive metropolis. The scale of the gang warfare relative to the city's size is genuinely shocking. Number 4. Birmingham, UK. Birmingham is the UK's second largest city. It's diverse, culturally rich, and home to some excellent universities. It also declared bankruptcy in 2023, the largest local government bankruptcy in European history. That financial collapse didn't cause the crime problem, but it sure didn't help. Around 42% of Birmingham residents report feeling at risk in their own city. Knife crime is a persistent, documented issue. Drug-related violence, gang activity, and property crime all rank well above national averages. The economic hardship has created conditions where crime becomes one of the few available economies for some communities. Number 3. Coventry, UK. Coventry is Birmingham's neighbor and in many ways mirrors it. High knife crime, sexual offenses concentrated around the city center nightlife, a Hillfields district that locals know to avoid. With a crime index sitting around 66, it consistently ranks near the very top of European danger lists. It doesn't get the same international attention as Bradford or Marseille, but the numbers are right there. Number 2. Marseille, France. Marseille is France's oldest city, founded by Greek settlers over 2,600 years ago. A massive Mediterranean port, historically gritty and proud of it. But in 2025, the situation has gotten genuinely serious. 48 people were killed in gang conflicts in 2023 alone, mostly concentrated in the northern social housing blocks called the cités. Drug trafficking networks have carved the city up into territories, and the violence between them is relentless. In 2025, drug-related homicides hit record levels, and nearly 85% of residents in surveys expressed concern about personal safety in public spaces. The tourist areas, the Old Port, the Calanques, are relatively fine during the day, but Marseille has an underbelly that is brutal and very real. Number 1. Bradford, UK. Bradford, a former wool and textile powerhouse in West Yorkshire, England, once part of the industrial backbone of Britain, now, by Numbeo's 2025 rankings, the single most dangerous city in Europe. Bradford's crime rate sits nearly 90% above the UK national average. Knife crime, drug offences, economic crime, and deep-rooted poverty form a feedback loop that the city has struggled to break for decades. The economic collapse of the textile industry left entire communities without purpose or income, and the social infrastructure never caught up. In the year ending March 2024, England and Wales recorded around 50,500 knife offences, up significantly from 33,800 in 2011, and Bradford is overrepresented in that number. It's a city with real culture, real history, and genuinely resilient people. But right now, by the numbers, it sits at the top of a list nobody wants to lead. Look, none of this means you shouldn't visit these cities. Most of them are extraordinary places with real history, real food, real character, but going in blind is how people get into trouble. France dominates this list with 6 cities in the top 15. The UK has 3. Both countries are dealing with drug-related gang violence that has intensified over the past decade and outpaced the response of law enforcement and social services.